Breaking right now on Morning News Now, Ian is now a tropical storm this morning, but not before making landfall as a massive Category 4 hurricane with devastating flooding and destructive winds. This morning, we are getting our first look at the damage the storm left behind, with Ian still slowly making its way up the state. The main impact we are seeing, that destructive storm surge and flooding. In Naples, just south of where Ian made landfall, cars were covered in water, roadways disappearing under feet of water. Ian came ashore yesterday afternoon in southwest Florida near Charlotte County, taking a similar path to Hurricane Charlie in 2004.
All of a sudden, I felt something and then heard like a train coming right through the house.
Gotta do what I gotta do with the reality that I have, which is get the hell out of that house.
Now this morning, as people in South Florida wake up to the damage and flooding, Ian's wrath is far from over, with some 2 million people without power. Let's get right to NBC News correspondent Morgan Chesky in Tampa. That's just north of where Ian made landfall. Morgan, good morning to you. We know Tampa avoided that direct hit that we were fearing just a couple days ago. Still, a storm like Ian can cause a lot of destruction. What are you seeing right now? What are you hearing from officials there?
Yeah, Joe, good morning. And the early reports are very encouraging for at least the larger Tampa metropolitan area. Police telling us that aside from scattered trees and power poles that have been knocked down by some of the tropical storm force winds that Tampa experienced overnight, the city's largely been spared. That is good news. That makes Tampa the exception to the rule, unfortunately, though, when it comes to Ian, because as we saw yesterday along the western coast of Florida to the south of us, just an absolutely stunning and heartbreaking scene to see that storm surge and those 140-plus mile-an-hour winds slam into communities, those barrier islands, and then Fort Myers, Naples, Sarasota, a long list of coastal towns that will look far different when the sun comes up today as a result of this devastating Category 4 hurricane that, as of right now, is now churning its way over the state of Florida, dropping an incredible amount of rain closer to Orlando and potentially Jacksonville when the sun comes up today. Guys?
And Morgan, tell me, what just have people there been telling you about the storm and what they're going through?
Well, it depends on where you are. I think for those in Tampa, they thought they'd be suffering a direct hit. A lot of people got out of town ahead of Ian. The mayor was very clear to tell them that if you did evacuate, don't come back yesterday because it was still unsafe to do so. We should be expecting some of those people to return to Tampa today, but it will be a far different story for those communities to the south. If there is any silver lining at all, it is those areas that had mandatory evacuations that took the brunt of Ian's power did have a lot of people comply. I know that on my way here to Tampa late on Monday, it was a steady stream going the opposite direction. So a lot of people did get out ahead of time, ahead of Ian's arrival. And fortunately, they'll be okay. We cannot say the same thing for their homes that they could be returning to, especially on that area to the south of us where Ian made landfall.
You know, we're just hearing President Biden has declared a major disaster for Florida right now, which is not a surprise, but that means more resources will be heading to Florida. Morgan, the weather conditions where you are might be improving, less wind, less rain, but the impact of this storm is going to be felt for a while. I mean, what are some of the biggest concerns now moving forward?
More than 2 million people, Joe, without power in Florida right now. That's a big concern. That number could potentially be going even higher as Ian continues to flood areas around Orlando and make its way to Jacksonville. We know the airport in Jacksonville has been shut down. One of the problems there that's very unique is that Ian could be dropping so much water in that area, and that combined with these still tropical storm force winds could actually push the river that runs through Jacksonville inland, and that could cause significant flooding there. After that, we could see Ian go back into the Atlantic Ocean and then make a second landfall. So this storm far from over, and unfortunately, its toll on Florida We've only gotten a glimpse so far, and it's likely going to be much worse when the sun comes up today.
So many things to watch, and it's not just in Florida now, but beyond. Morgan Chesky, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Morgan. And let's check out where Ian is now and where Ian's headed.
Meteorologist Samara Theodore is with us again this morning, tracking Ian. Samara, good morning.
Good morning, Joe, Savannah. We are in for another long ride as we head through today. And, you know, as the storm goes through phases, we are going to see those other aspects of the storm really revving up. And now it's all about the flooding. And that's going to be on the eastern part of the state of Florida and into the Carolinas, Georgia as well. So here you can see alerts just lighting up the Florida coastline into Savannah, into Charleston. We have a hurricane watch here. Right now, we're still anticipating that it'll remain a tropical storm as it makes that second landfall. However, we have to be cautious, and if we see any re-energizing there, it could take on that Cat 1 status. Here's a look at the latest radar right now, and we are expecting some extreme flooding, flash flooding as well, out towards areas like Daytona Beach. Right now, they're seeing 69-mile-per-hour winds. It is a very strong storm for one to have crossed through central Florida, remaining that long over land, but still keeping this much power. We're expecting heavy rain to be dumped. So this is the future cast, and this helps us see what the radar is going to look like in the coming days. So here we are tonight at 8 p.m. Thursday. Do you live in Jacksonville, down towards Daytona? Still seeing some moderate rain, but the bulk of the rain is now offshore, getting ready to drive into South Carolina. As we push forward in time, we're moving through Friday morning. So Charleston on Friday early in the morning, we expect that the heaviest of the rain to push through South Carolina, out towards Spartanburg, out towards Greenville, into Charlotte, North Carolina by Friday evening, and then up into the mid-Atlantic through the start of your Saturday. Even some showers trying to make their way into areas like New York City early Sunday morning. Here's a look at the flash flood risk right now. We are, this is actually Friday, I'm sorry, so that's farther north, but we do anticipate having that flash flooding occurring tomorrow and Friday along the Georgia-Florida coastline, and we are going to see extensive flooding with this. The storm surge, this is also an issue for the eastern half of Florida. So even though the storm has moved over, while we may not be seeing 8 to 12 to even 18 feet of storm surge, this could certainly cause damage in areas like Jacksonville Beach, out towards Brunswick, into Savannah, where we could see anywhere from 4 to 6 feet of water moving in. And finally, the winds. They're going to be taking center stage as we head through the next couple of days. We've already been seeing power outages down, power lines down, and that'll continue to be the case for those living on the eastern coast of Florida up into St. Augustine. And then once again, look at that, 72 miles per hour possible in areas like Charleston. So we're far from over with this storm. We're getting ready to see the second phase of it as it moves towards the east. Joe?
Unreal to think that we are talking about storm surge and other issues now on the Atlantic coast, on top of everything that happened on the Gulf Coast and then just in central Florida as well.
A powerful storm.
Yeah, just the destruction of the storm in its path. Thank you so much. Now, MSNBC and NBC News anchor Jose Diaz-Balart joins us now from Bradenton, Florida with more. Hey, Jose, good morning. Good to see you. Tell us what the situation's looking like where you are.
Likewise. Savannah and Joe, good morning. The situation now is so different than it was just 4 hours ago here in the Bradenton area. I'm Bradenton, Sarasota, kind of boundary area. Right behind me is the Bay of Sarasota. Behind it, of course, is the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know if you could see, the sun is just about to come up. It's 22 after they say the sunrise is. It's 9 after now, but you can see there's some kind of twinkling lights, and that's such a good sign. That there's electricity, there's power for some of the communities over here. Sarasota, I see over here, the downtown area of Sarasota, looks like there's a lot of power. There are a lot of problems with power right now in the state of Florida. 2.5 million people are without power this morning. This storm was so monstrous. It was so intense. It was so large. It was so filled with water that not only the storm surge, but the rains that were horizontal bands that would pelt you, and you'd feel it like if it were needles hitting your face. It really had a big impact in some areas that we haven't been able to get to right now. Arcadia, for example, is a place that's mostly agricultural, a large Latino community. I'm thinking even of Port Charlotte, all of these places that were much more closely the target of Ian are now we're going to be able to see the devastation and the damage. And it's the wind, it was the water, it was the storm surge, almost like a perfect storm that slammed into Florida, causing so much destruction. And here where we are in Bradenton, the airport, Sarasota Bradenton Airport, major damage is what they're calling it to part of the airport. The Manatee River here normally has a 6-foot water level. It got to 17 feet.
Wow.
17 feet. The flooding is massive. Its effects are going to be felt. But, you know, there's been such an incredible organization in the state of Florida. And the governor was talking about his communications and cooperation with President Biden and the federal government, FEMA and others. But there are 42,000 line trucks, linemen, ready to go in 30 different areas here in the state of Florida to come in to the areas that have lost power as soon as it's feasible. And it's starting to be feasible because 40 miles an hour is kind of the limit where crews can go out and do their work. First responders as well. Well, that's died down. And so there's some strong winds coming in, but certainly not 42 miles an hour. So officials now are going to be able to come out and power is going to be restored. The organization that was put in place before the storm on a local, state, and federal level is truly extraordinary.
Jose, on top of the damage, on top of the power outages that people are dealing with, we understand officials in Bradenton have also been asking people to reduce their water use because one of the wastewater treatment plants was in danger of overflowing. How much do we know about that? How are people managing to have that on top of all the other issues they've been facing?
You know, Joe, those are the things that happen with this kind of storm approaches. You know, I've been covering, you know, storms and other things for so many years now, but I think back on Hurricane Andrew, the 24th of August of 1992. That was a Category 5 storm that slammed into South Florida. It was much more compact, Joe. It was a fast-moving storm, but when they come in and the water phenomenon floods in so many different avenues and aspects of our infrastructure. That what happened here in Bradenton. The fact is that when these systems overflow and are full, you can't use your water. And just yesterday, before the storm struck in Bradenton, we were already having a problem with it. There were no water. There was no water coming out of the faucets. That will be solved quick. What is not going to be solved quick is the incredible level of devastation to the physical structures of places like Arcadia. And look what happened in Naples. I mean, the floodwaters, they were floodwaters just poured through downtown Naples. That recedes, that will have not a permanent damage to that city, but the structural damage remains to be seen, and that's going to take a bit. You know, this bay, and so lovely to be able to see the sunrise here. This bay, yesterday it was. David, can you do a little zoom on that? But this bay yesterday, there were times when it like the water was being sucked out, and it was dry. And look, you see, look at that. Look at the stars, the twinkling of hope, right? Power being restored in that area. But this bay here was just empty here yesterday. This thing was being sucked out, and it's now coming back slowly. There's a lot to damage, and the sun is just rising, and we'll, of course, be able to see a whole lot more in just minutes.
Yeah, Jose, thank you so much. Thank you for showing us around, explaining all that. Very helpful context, and good to see you are safe. Please stay safe, and like you said, good to see some power in that area. That's about to be a big story emerging from this. Thanks, Jose.
Thank you, Jose. Now let's get to a Floridian who did decide to ride out the storm. Linda Blomquist joins us now from Punta Gorda. That's about 21 miles from where Ian made landfall, south of where we just saw Jose. Linda, good morning to you. I know you're joining us by phone right now because I think you're still dealing with power outages. We're happy you and your family are safe. But what is some of the damage you're seeing around where you are?
Good morning. There's some roof damage. We did go outside briefly when the eye went over. Pool cages ripped off houses, shingles off, porta potties tossed around. some minor flooding in our area. We're not right on the waterfront, so we're very fortunate with that.
Linda, for people who maybe don't live in an area where they experience weather like this, what was it like when Ian hit? Describe what it's like to actually be riding out a hurricane, and tell us how you prepared.
Well, we did put our storm shutters on our home, and our home's a newer home, so I felt safe with that because of the stricter codes of Hurricane Charlie. We had plenty of water and food. We had a closet prepared in case we had to go in. We did not go in because we felt secure. I will say the second half of the storm was definitely much more brutal. The winds seemed much stronger.
You mentioned Hurricane Charlie, which took a frighteningly similar path back in 2004. You experienced that. In your mind, from where you are, how did Ian compare with Charlie?
Well, Charlie was a smaller storm, and it lasted maybe an hour and a half. We did not have shutters then. We just boarded up with wood. And because my children are younger at the time, I think that one was more frightening to me. But this storm, Hurricane Ian seemed like it was never going to end. It really lingered on. We started the effects probably around 1:30 with the outer band, and it continued. We still have some tropical storm winds right now, so it was never-ending storm.
Gosh, that's so scary. Tell us, you mentioned your kids being younger then. Tell us about you and your family right now. What's next in the coming days? What's your plan?
Well, we'll take off the storm shutters and clean up the yard and see if any neighbors need any help with anything. And I'll see when I have to go back to work. I teach school in Sarasota County. Right now, there's no school through the end of the week, but I don't know what's going to come after that based upon some damages that occurred in Sarasota County.
Do you get the impression?
So it's a wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, from what you're hearing from around the area, where do you think you're hearing the worst? Is it south of you? Is it a little north of you? Some of the worst damage with the storm surge and things like that. What are you hearing?
Well, I had friends that had to be evacuated from the Charlotte Harbor area because of storm surge. And I also heard both Inglewood and Northport got hit pretty good from the storm. So it's a matter of wait and see. We don't have, our television isn't working, obviously, because we have no power. So right now, we're not getting a lot of information.
Right, no electricity, and right now things are still in the dark as the sun starts to come up. And as the sun comes up, we will get a better idea of the damage there in Punta Gorda and throughout Florida. Linda Blomquist, thanks so much for joining us. Please continue to stay safe.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Now let's bring in Lakeland, Florida City Manager Sean Giroux for more. Sean, good morning, and thanks so much for being with us today. So the eye of Hurricane Ian moved just outside of Lakeland last night. What kind of damage are you seeing this morning? What's it like as the sun is just starting to rise, as we saw with one of our correspondents there? Are you and your family safe?
Yes, good morning. Thank you. And hello from the beautiful city of Lakeland. We are just starting to have some daylight here. We fared pretty well in Lakeland last night. The biggest impacts here were between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. Lakeland owns our own electric utility, and we have about 63,000 customers that are without power. So our major effort this morning is to try to get our crews mobilized so that we can get power restored for our community.
We should note Lakeland is east of Tampa, so not right on the water there, and still this hurricane so powerful that many people lost power. What's your message to people who don't have power right now? Not just how quickly will it happen, but what should they be doing in the meantime when they don't have the power?
Yeah, unfortunately, all we can ask them to do is just remain patient. We are mobilizing with our own restoration crews. We also have crews that are coming in to assist us from Texas and Tennessee. They were staged near the Florida-Georgia line last night and are mobilizing and will be on their way. And so just be patient, be safe, stay away from any of the lines. We have reports and have seen where we do have many lines that are down, so just stay away from them and know that we are mobilizing as quickly as we can to try to get power restored very, very fast.
Absolutely important safety message there. Also, Sean, as Joe just mentioned, Lakeland's a little bit more inland and was able to take in many evacuees from areas of Florida that were directly in the eye of the hurricane or more coastal. What is the plan for those who are unable to return home immediately? Are there enough resources to go around for, the community itself as well as other people who evacuated to the area?
Yeah, our shelters opened at noon yesterday, and many of them are full. As a matter of fact, here where I'm located at our Emergency Operations Center and right here across the street from City Hall, even in our parking garages, we found people that were staying in their vehicles. And so we've tried to accommodate as best we can, and we'll continue to do so throughout today. We expect that, the impacts that we are experiencing, which are primarily throughout the day going to be rainfall, should be safe conditions for everyone. But again, we would ask them that they stay secure in the place that they're in until we get the all clear, to start to utilize our transportation system.
Obviously, power is your #1 priority right now. What else are you focused on today and tomorrow? And are you worried at all about flooding with all of the rain that parts of Florida are getting right now, or is that no longer a big issue for you?
Flooding was a major concern, but so far, again, we have fared well. We've been able to go out and visit some of our low-lying areas, and the reports coming back are pretty good. And so, yeah, restoring power is going to be our primary #1 mission. In addition to that, I mean, we don't have much loss of entire trees, but we do have a lot of large limbs that are down. There's just a lot of debris everywhere. And so our other major mission this morning is going to be to mobilize crews and try to make sure that we get the streets clear so that they can be safe for passage when the conditions are at a point that people can utilize them.
All right, Sean Shiraz, thank you so much for your time this morning on what is sure to be a busy and in some ways scary day for your community. We appreciate your time and we're wishing you the best of luck. We'll check in.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.